apprentices are at the stage now where we could do with extra equipment to improve their education in the skills. For instance, they've been doing things like this here, which is a construction which they welded up and built themselves with supervision, which is to stop the sponsons coming over the sea wall. Right? Now, if you look at everything that's painted green along here, it'll give you an idea of the length of the ship and where exactly the ship's going to go when she's berthed up. Out here we want help with things like a trench dug across the road so that we can put the cables in for the electrics and everything else. Probably will go across here somewhere where the white line is. The mooring for the bow is up that end, which is the post up that end. You see the green with the red on. The mooring for the stern's right down that end there, and the Medway Queen will fit in the middle here. There's another little job we need done here, is the car park. We need the car park really surfaced over because really we can't do any workshops or anything with the state of the car park as it is. You know, it's no good having young kids in here like this, so if there's somebody out there that's willing to help us, you know, we'd much appreciate it. There isn't money, in instance, for lathes, milling machines, pigs, and things like a TIG machine for the welding. Better described if we go around the bays and I show you exactly where we want and what we have got. We're now in the hot bay. Both the apprentices are at college today. In here, though, we've got metallic arc and we've got a MIG set. We haven't got a TIG set. So if there's somebody out there that's got one, he's prepared to donate it to us, so he'd be grateful. If we've got to pay a bit of money for it, we don't mind. But it's essential we have a TIG set because we now need to move the apprentices on so they can do TIG, and we would have a galley to fit out where we will need that. It's just getting other equipment that we desperately need. We haven't got the money for. There's probably old equipment out there. Something else in here we could do with a pig. That's so, because the only way we've got to cut in anything is by hand. So if there's anything out there anybody can help us with, again, we'd be eternally grateful. We've come a long way from a workshop that had hazardous waste in to somewhere we can start fitting out and building tanks and stuff. But we need more equipment to go the other mile, not just to rebuild the Medway Queen, but to give the apprentices more experience. For instance, this is the fitting bay, and there's certain equipment we need in here. Can you tell us what exactly we need, or what you need to move on?
Yeah, we need a centre lathe so that we can make parts for these machines ourselves, and possibly a milling machine for the same purpose. Rather than putting out work, we can be making it ourselves and training the apprentices. Any tools are helpful.
Really, we do need them. Otherwise, there's no really point us learning it if we don't have the machine. Or if we do need the cent lathe and the milling machine to get these last parts to the exact size we need. Otherwise, we're just going to be spending more money on other companies doing it when we can really do it in the workshop ourselves.
Getting our machinery all set up and ready for us to use. We'd like some more timber to get on with some proper woodwork. Yeah, it's expensive game these days, timber. Even if it's timber they don't want, we can make use of it. All the offcuts and all that, yeah, very useful.
Right. Now in the carpenter's bay, the apprentices themselves made their own benches, right? They've done the pedal boxes and what have you, but we need to move on because the carpenters we've got are bench carpenters. Got a couple of them over here. Part of their modules are to build furniture and we'll be building bits for the
This
ship.
is just a bit of furniture for our college modules. All it was a standard design. I managed to draw the rod on my bench. It was just two on the top rails and bottom rails. You have a stop Mortise tenon with a 45-degree miter. They meet in the middle with the glue, which means it bites together a lot easier and a lot stronger. After you fit the whole thing, you can decide whether you want to put mouldings on or not. So naturally you decide what mouldings you want. For example, there's a lamb's tongue moulding here, and then you've got a chamfer all the way down to the legs but with a stop. So it gives the legs a sort of feet, if you will. Standard joinery really, but luckily we managed to use the deck timbers from 1924. With a nice coat of varnish over it, feels nice. I don't know whether the society could sell it, I don't know, but make some money. But what would be ideal for learning now, without sounding bashful, I want to learn how to do all the turning. It really makes nice furniture. In the saloon and things like that, you've got bar stools and all around the ship, and the captain's cabin you've got tables and things like that. Ideally you need a wood turner's lathe. If you have the wood turner's lathe, you can use it for carving, or if you put the leg in, you can use it for mouldings, give it a really nice feature, and all in all, at the end of the job, you could have something that looked like that, to look like that in a matter of minutes. And after that, all you've got to focus on really, I mean, I know all this was, apart from the mouldings and the machine work, all the joints were handmade. So all you've got to worry about is after that is fitting the joints and doing the finish. It would speed up the learning, but it's something that it's a privilege to do. I mean, I come in, you see the volunteers, in their apprenticeships they were doing it for 5 years. They were allowed to do lathe work after they mastered their hand tools. So, I mean, obviously you master your hand tools first. I mean, you wouldn't go anywhere without that. And then you have to go on the lathe. It would be ideal to learn how to do lathe work now, because you're at the stage, if you can do something like this by hand, then it's now time to move on and try lathe work. But we haven't got a lathe. Unfortunately, it's easy me saying make do with what you got, but you can't turn around and say, oh, I'm sorry I can't put the mouldings on these legs for the bar stools, we haven't got a lathe, because at the end of the day you're gonna need it. It would be brilliant, because it would then give me and the other apprentices a chance to do lathe work and a chance to open up a whole new field of furniture making. I want to progress to be a cabinet maker, and eventually down the line I'm going to be using a lathe. So there's no time like the present really. Would be very grateful if someone was to donate a lathe, because it'd give us a whole new learning curve and things like that. It'd be amazing. You couldn't want for any more.
Sometimes